Up until that moment, it was just fear.
Yeah.
I think you could see it in the way I was acting. I'd gone into a shell, I was quite quiet. Fear of failure turned directly into adrenaline. You have no idea what your body's capable of until you're pushed to that limit. It frustrates me in a way. Some people will never ever realise what their body can do. It can do impressive things.
Let's look at England's as well.
We just said, you've got nothing to lose. You're here, this is an achievement in itself. Enjoy it. And I believe that is the main reason it did so well, is because there was no pressure to do well. In my head it was like, don't come last. A few guys, won't name names, who I did want to beat. The main thing was to make a statement. On the day, ended up outperformed anything that I could have believed I could have achieved. Couldn't believe it really. It was like the next step. That was the step we talk about, like how me and you and how we plan stuff when we need to qualify for this, and then I'd then done it. I'd take that next stepping stone from the novice competitions in car parks and in random gym, you know what I mean? And I've then taken that step up, and it was so surreal to think, wow, like, it's happened so fast.
So today's podcast is one of my athletes, actually. Good one for me to show off with, but no, Max Searby is a very young and very strong and definitely upcoming strongman into the scene. He's already achieved massively great things. He's got the world record deadlift as well for the under 23s. But today's podcast is quite different in its own way, in the respects of Max hasn't had a lot of trauma in his life or anything like that. I'm not going to say he's had an easy life, because that's not really a thing to say for anybody, because we all have our own struggles. But he's had a very simple life that has led him into his success that he's got at the moment. There's lots to take away, and this guy is definitely one to watch for the future. So I hope you enjoy it. Dig in deep. Welcome back to another blow your socks off Lion Mind. Sounds a bit cheesy, but you know what I mean. Lion Mind podcast, where we delve into people's mindset, and from the recent people speaking, it's I don't want to say it's helping people, because I know it's inevitably going to help people, but at the same time, it's people are giving me some feedback that's making me realise how powerful it actually is. I think it's quite ironic to know how much people's stories could help other people, which is a really, really nice feeling for me, and obviously exactly what we set the podcast out for. But today I've got my very good friend and one of the SSA athletes, Max Searby.
Hi guys, all right?
Welcome on.
Thank you very much.
So, I mean, obviously, give us a little short of who you are,
Yep.
And where you've come from, without saying your mum. And sort of like, just give us a brief one, because there's a lot of things I actually want to dig into about yourself anyway. Obviously, there's lots of things we're going to go into, but just give us a little brief sort of like sentence of who you are.
So my name is Max Searby, 22 years old. Recently just broke the junior deadlift world record. Placed third England strongest man. Been doing strongman now for about 3 years, working with Dean for just over a year. That's where we're at right now.
You've had let's be honest, quite a fucking insane journey. So
yeah, we've had a good journey so far. Yeah.
But no, so you're obviously a very young strongman.
Yeah.
And just for people who probably don't know you or whatever, how heavy are you at the moment?
140 kilograms.
140 kilograms.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's people that actually listen to this podcast. I'm sure there is that aren't that familiar with the weights and stuff like that. But it's a decent deadlift, that is.
Yeah.
And that's your body weight.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes people forget, and that's why I wanted to bring it up first, because people sometimes forget the I guess the difference between some of the young athletes nowadays. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, I've worked with hundreds of people's, like different body weights, different strengths, weaknesses, abilities, and everything. And honestly speaking, I'm sure there's something in the blood nowadays, the young kids that are coming up. But you have a gift, and obviously, already we've seen some, some really good shine, haven't we, of what you've done.
Yeah.
But yeah, just for people to understand, really, like, to be at your age, your body weight, you've got a big advantage in that sort of perspective. So it's good to understand that and really push it as we go through. So yeah, let's just recap on some of the things that you've done recently. I'm trying to talk about you rather than just show off my side of things, really, because I know that I've been with you through the journey, but it's amazing to see what's happened already.
Yeah.
And we've planned out the future. We know where we're going, but let's just recap on some things that you've done so far. So, obviously you've got your deadlift was 422.5.
421.
421.
421.
That was it.
Yeah.
So that was like breaking the original record. Who was set by?
I don't want to pronounce his name wrong. Husseini, something along the lines of that.
Because he came out of nowhere, to be fair, didn't he? And
it was out of nowhere. I remember Lewis sent me a video and showed me a video.
Yeah.
Because obviously Lewis previously held the record for him.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, right, wow, yeah, that's
pretty
decent.
We had that in sight, didn't we? Then that came out and it was like, okay,
yeah, we were training we were training to beat 411, and then
which was Lewis had 411.
411. Then this guy coming out of nowhere with 420. So like, I mean, when you get to that type of weight, you think, oh, it's only 10 kg.
It's
not. It's not. It's definitely not. So that definitely, I wouldn't say threw a spanner in the works, because at the end of the day, we managed to achieve it.
Yeah.
But it definitely applied a lot more pressure than maybe to get 412 might have been.
Yeah, yeah. But obviously, it didn't stop us in the journey, and obviously,
no, things just kept the same.
vision was the same regardless. It was just beating that, wasn't it?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But obviously, to go through that for me to see it, and then obviously to work up to that next point.
Yeah.
It was as if it never happened anyway. Like it was just, do you know what I mean?
It was just a blip. It was a blip, and we just adjusted, didn't we? So.
Yeah. So obviously you broke that record. Previously held that was Stoltman, obviously, wasn't it? Like years back.
Lewis took it. I think Lewis took it from.
Yeah, so he took it from him. Yeah. So it's great to know now, isn't it? That your name's within that chain of people.
Yeah.
Like,
to be even associated with them time, it's good.
Yeah. Just I've actually forgot. We've got to do the present, so we'll do that in a second.
Yeah.
But just on the note of that, the day that you broke that, just obviously it was a very magical day.
Yeah.
How did you actually feel? Let's do this in a little few stages as well, because it's good for people to understand, maybe for the people who have done this before anyway, how you feel, but also for the people who have never really done this sort of thing. Mm-hmm. How did you feel, let's say, the morning of?
Right, so woke up that morning, and I won't be not afraid to say it, I was, do you know what I mean? I was the fear of failure was at its highest point then.
Yeah.
I wasn't lifting until 5, 6 in the evening, so I had that whole day of managing nerves, and I wasn't the nervous I've ever felt. I get big feelings of sickness for competitions anyway, so I was trying to control that, or trying to push food down and trying to rest and recover. But definitely, like you said to me, so we could have gone two ways about this. We could have either told nobody, and then if I failed, it was just, there's a lot less people. Even if I did fail, I know I wouldn't technically be letting people down, but in my head, it'd be less people let down. Or we go the other way, which we ended up going, is you tell everyone, and you use that pressure, because I feel like I can adjust very well in turning that into that fight or flight response in the situation needed, and that's what we went for, and I think that was the right direction, definitely on the day, and obviously I pulled it off, and it was... the amount of the fear of failure turned directly into adrenaline in that moment. Up until that moment, it was just fear. Yeah. I think you could see it in the way I was acting. I'd gone into a shell. I was quite quiet. I was focused, but quiet, and just wanted to get it done. Obviously, it's thinking about it all day, thinking about it for weeks on end. I've imagined it so many times in my head. To then be stood there, it's totally different. You cannot prepare yourself to be... for those feelings that when you get, like say, a couple of minutes out when we were chatting and we were talking and going through what we're going to do, there's no way you can prepare. Your body just reacts in the moment, and yeah. So
But what was that feeling? And I can literally feel it now, for how I felt. What was that feeling when when the bar went down?
yeah,
Obviously, the room lit up.
yeah.
Like, what did that feel like for you? I've actually not asked you this.
No, put in a way like a massive weight lifted, like weeks of anxiety over doing this had just been released, and that thinking like I've just done that. I've actually all those times of doubted myself. I've just proved myself wrong. All them times I was worried there was no need to be, and that it kind of erased all that anxiety and build up and
Like instantly.
yeah, it just dissipated, just went in that moment, and all it was just euphoria, just a sense of you know what I mean. Standing back, thinking as that just happened, like there was that when obviously I rushed straight into your arms. I lost it. I was emotional. I didn't want people to see me upset. And I was I'm not afraid to say I was crying, but that was just had that much adrenaline and emotion and. Yeah, it was just one of the best moments. Yeah, if you could bottle that up, it'd be priceless. That moment, you can never replace how it felt to do that.
Yeah, we were talking, weren't we, earlier on as well, and we'll touch on to this in a bit anyway. But that feeling when I know how, I put a lot into my athletes, and I study the mind of individuals because. Yeah. The more I study your mind, the more I can help you with your mind, if that makes sense. And it's a little bit like if you're the type of person that needs a slap, to be like, get a fucking grip, that's good to know. If you're the person that needs to be left alone, that's good to know. If you're the person that needs to be, maybe have a laugh. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And there's all these different emotions that I always study with people and try and figure out. And that's why I said to you the other day, England, stick headphones on, because I could just tell you it was in that moment where it was a bit like, things could get a little bit out of control if they weren't. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, headphones on now, do you know what I'm saying? But we have to figure these things out. And when you went through that sort of like, that stage of lifting that, I don't know, I just felt like this power of knowing that you were going to complete it, although it was looking like you were struggling more. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know if you could probably put this up on the video for the people who are on YouTube, but like seeing you lift that, there was a moment where the bar stopped.
Oh yeah.
And for most people who are looking at it, they probably think, shit, he's not going to do it.
Yeah.
But I had this really like sense of power and satisfaction knowing that you were still going to do it, and it was really it was quite nice just to feel that, like, I know it's going to go up. I know you're
just, do you know what I mean? Just wait. Yeah. And that's what I was like in my head when it stopped. I could see you were directly stood in front of me, and I was like, he knows. He said, I know. I could because no one could feel what I'm feeling at that time, but only you can, and that was like almost like smiling, because I was like, it stopped, but this ain't going down.
I've got
this
it.
Ain't going down. I was like, I'm not letting go of this now. We haven't come this far to put that down. I was like, there's no chance. I was like, I don't care what it looks. I was like, I've got to get it up and lock it out. And then so when I got that down signal, it was like, yeah, I've just proved it.
And just for the people as well, in case you don't know strongman, you are allowed to hitch like a bitch.
We'll just put that in there.
Obviously, it does not need to look pretty in strongman. It's literally A to B. Yeah. So yeah, insane.
Compared to the one you felt before.
Oh, so obviously, yeah. So I pulled 400 at the Fit Expo about 4 months prior.
Yeah.
And then went for 412 on a whim. We were aiming for 400.
It was unplanned, weren't it?
Yeah, it was unplanned, but we thought we'll have a go. Obviously, just failed that. Just kind of blacked out at the top, just through straining. But it was totally different scenario. Hitting the 400 for Expo was like almost like a gym PB. Like it was. Yeah. Didn't have that emotional value of what this did.
Yeah.
Obviously.
That shows, doesn't it, though, how powerful the build-up actually is.
Yeah, and you've got to get that right. You can't. I think you can be very overstimulated or understimulated. Like we said, there's so many techniques to get yourself in there. Not everyone's the same. I know me and you share a very similar way in building up to things via songs and music and things that are personal to us. And everyone's got their own way of doing it.
Just whilst you say that, share your song and why. What is it and why?
So I always forget the name of a song, but I've got to say it.
Yeah.
So obviously not so long ago, I lost my granddad, and they played this song at his funeral, and I hadn't heard it too many times. It's a song from, I think it's Les Mis, and they played it at the funeral, and yeah, it was strange because I wasn't that close to my granddad at all, but God, when that came on, I was like, couldn't stop. Do you know what I mean?
At the funeral,
that hit me
yeah.
then. I was like, up until that point, I was like pretty. It's hard to describe the feeling, but I wasn't crying.
Controlled.
I was controlled.
Yeah.
I was controlled because I was staying strong. I didn't want to seem upset in front of my dad. And
Yeah.
then when that
Is
was
it your dad's dad? Or,
yeah, it was my dad's dad
yeah.
who we lost. And when that came on, I mean, I was absolutely bawling. I couldn't stop. I was like shaking because it had such an you know, when music hits the tone of the room and the imagery it can create in your mind. And just and I think that put it. I felt very vulnerable at that time. But as soon as we left, I made sure I listened to that song again in the car, because you know you hear people, oh well, they played that at so and so's funeral, so I can't listen to it anymore. I didn't want that effect.
That's interesting.
So the next day on the way to work, I mean, I have a long commute, so I put that song in the car and made myself listen to it. So I didn't desensitize myself. So I could not. So every time that comes on, I don't want to go, oh, turn it off now. No, I can't listen to that. It's enjoy that. Take the. Do you know what I mean? Appreciate the value of that.
It takes you back to that moment, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I think just before walking out, before that deadlift, obviously it was a very emotional, upsetting time, but it was more the power of the song and how just one song controlled my body and emotions. I managed, because I'd listened to that song over and over, I'd almost managed to switch it into a, right, let's use this song, obviously he's watching, let's make him proud, use the value of and the emotions I got from listening to that the first time and turn it into something positive. And it changed, when I listened to that song, and when I listened to it then, it just changed me. Those first, that minute before I went out, I was like, right, that's it now. I'm doing it. No one can stop me. No one can stop me. I'm doing it now.
I always look at that incident and what you're explaining there is like an act.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you hear a tune, you act away.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It was like a stimulus and a response kind of thing. Yeah.
It's like that's the moment that this happens, whatever this may be.
So no matter what's going on, that was like.
Yeah.
That's the switch on.
But isn't that, like, to think about, so insanely powerful?
Oh yeah.
Like, to think that can do that. But it's like, you know, obviously we're drawn by our senses, aren't we?
Yeah.
You know, and smells.
Yeah.
I'm sure, like, you know, I mean, I can't smell anymore. It's quite sad to still admit after how many years. But, you know, like, certain smells trigger you in certain ways, don't they?
Oh yeah. Like certain perfumes and certain
just remind you of
things
people. And you know what? It could, sometimes, not to be horrible, there could be people that don't mean anything to you.
Yeah.
It just
But
that
it just
trigger
clicks
that
in
you go,
you,
I remember that person from that.
Yeah.
You know, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But yeah, just things like that I think are really, really powerful to understand the power behind it, so you can use it to your advantage.
Yeah, if you can get that right, it's an unstoppable force. Yeah, definitely.
And I know we've spoke about this before on the podcast randomly about something, but it's like that thing that they say about a woman, like if there's a baby under a car, you know, that just it's a superpower. Like it's just like that is the moment she needs to act.
Yeah.
You know, and I think they say it as a woman under a car because they think a woman can't lift a car, which is probably a sexist way of putting at it. But do you know what I'm saying? It's that whole thing is about you can do anything you need to do.
Yeah, well, they say like
If
if
it's like
60%, you only ever act at like it's like 60 or 80% of your like I don't know the technical name.
What's this for?
In even if you try to push yourself in the gym, you'd only ever use like 80% recruit, 80% of motor neurons. Where if you're put in that life, death, fight or flight situation, you've got it. You can do things that you can never believe you could do. So if you can then train your mind into almost like ringing a bell, and then your body can switch on like that, which was very similar to what I managed to do. Then you can do whatever. You can do anything. Yeah,
I mean, obviously not just to talk about competition as well.
No, of course not.
But it is powerful to still think about it in this respect. But there's so many people that absolutely like screw that up as well, and I've seen it so many times.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like and you know, not to say names, 'cause it's not about people individually, but some of the best athletes in the gym go to a competition and they just do shit. And that's because they just let everything get to them.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll say that was me for Europe, if I'm completely honest.
Yeah.
Like, I had too much pressure, too many things going on, and I wasn't focused enough that actually my surroundings controlled me rather than me controlling my surroundings. Do you know what I'm saying? But, you know, you can have that in the strongest of people. Like, I know people that, you know, are stupidly strong in the gym. Everything's going so well, and all of a sudden, bang, you're in that environment that swallows you, and you let it swallow you.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
You know, so I think it's, you know, for anyone listening to this, like, you know, master your mind and master your...
Yeah, everyone's different. Everyone's got their specific things that can like enable them to be different people in situations. But you've got to find... People on here, they might go home and listen to a song that was on their funeral. Well, do you know what I mean? That probably won't work for them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
gotcha. Yeah,
but some people, it might.
Yeah.
So you've got to find what stimulates,
sparks you.
What sparks that inside.
Yeah. It's just that I think that emotions are one of the ones that always get you, isn't it? Cause it's like very similar to what you're saying there. Like, I've got a song.
Because I've experienced that when you in the gym, when that song comes on, your whole, I don't know about being cheesy, but like your whole aura, like everything about you.
Me, when I put mine on,
changes. Like you close your eyes and start smiling. I remember the first time seeing that, thinking that was a bit like, what was it? Is he alright? What's he doing? He's like, what's going on here? Look like, do you know what I mean? But now I know you as a close friend, and how that. Do you know what I mean? I can relate to that very.
So did you learn that through that process, or did you did it fall into place?
I've always trained to music. I've always found music helps stimulate me in the gym. But I've definitely seen you do it a lot more. And we've had plenty of conversations where like, just try this, or you've said, or just don't do it yet, or only visualize, don't over visualize. You don't want to over. And but prominently I've seen you do it, tried it, and it worked for me as well.
Yeah, just for people in case they're wondering what the hell we're talking about, because obviously that is quite a weird thing to think about. Like, so I originally think when I'm going through times like that. So this is actually, I'm going to go do a little bit of a story here for you. I don't know if I've ever said this to you anyway, but so I used to feel like I wasn't able to do something, so I used to laugh at it.
Yeah.
Right. You know that thing about like, it's an old saying, isn't it? Like,
so ridiculous.
Say,
like
just laugh at it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Just laugh at it. You'll feel better. It's like, it sounds stupid to say, but so I used to do, like, it was in powerlifting. When I used to do powerlifting, and I went for a stage. I actually don't know where it came from, because it wasn't on purpose. It just started to happen. But I started laughing at the bar. Right, and I know that sounds literally like psycho, but I was like, ha ha ha. But then I started doing this real weird laugh. Some people that listen to this that know me from back then will know exactly what I'm on about. And a few of the coaches who used to work here used to laugh at it, because I used to be like, do a weird laugh. But anyway, it then become my ritual where I'd laugh at the bar. And whenever anyone say, "What are you doing?" I'm like, I sort of couldn't remember doing it in a way, because it's weird, isn't it? You know what that's like when you're in the moment. You can't really remember what you're doing. But and then I was like, I'm just laughing at the bar just because I'm telling it that I'm laughing at you, so you can't beat me. Do you know what I mean? And it started from that, and that's where I started like closing my eyes and laughing and smiling, because I'm just going, it's okay, I've just done it. It's happened. Yeah. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And you're reinforcing that mentality within yourself and visualization. Obviously, I'm a massive fan of visualizing like as much as you can through the prep and all that sort of stuff the day before. Vision, you've done it. It's a little bit like I don't know, I plonk you in the middle of London, somewhere you've never been before, and you go, right, got to find my bearings, don't know where I am, yeah? But if you'd have done let's just randomly make a story up, you've done a virtual reality of this road 10 times before I've plonked you on the road, and then all of a sudden I plonked you on the road, I remember this. Yeah. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And that's ultimately a very idiot's guide to what visualization is. Yeah. And people do not understand how powerful that actually is until they do it.
I think people dismiss it as like, oh no, I'm not doing that.
But you know what? It sounds hocus pocus.
Yeah, but like it's that almost. I don't know how to say it, but that over. Oh, I'm not doing that. Oh, I don't need to do that.
I don't need that.
The big rough guys who I'll just go lift it. I'll just go. Imagine how strong you would be if you could
tap into it.
Tap into that.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. But again, like anyone that's thinking about this stuff, dig into it. Have a search into that sort of side of things, and actually understand what you're capable of, because that could be your next missing link that takes you to that, that next level. So let's just quickly do the present, because I'm getting really shit at this and not doing it early on enough. So let's be honest here. I've had this present in the office, or in the podcast room now, for a couple of months. I'll let you talk anyway.
Yeah. So it was just a little bit of a thank you. Obviously, when Dean set up the podcast originally, Dean's done a lot for me over the last year or so, and me and Zach wanted to give him something back. So we had a little poster made up for him to go on the wall. Then we thought, obviously, once we started the gift idea, it'd be a good idea to save it for today.
Yeah. So you made me wait to actually put this up, and it's badass as well.
Yeah. So I'll let you show him.
I don't want to pretend and go, oh, like I've never seen it, because I actually have seen it. But for the people who you know, maybe some of you have seen this, but can you see that on the camera? Yeah. If you should do it on the middle camera. So if you're on Spotify or Apple and you're not on YouTube, get yourself on YouTube and have a look at this. So yeah, badass, absolutely. And honestly, just you know, without brushing it off too much, because it's not a surprise to me, I was very, very shocked that you both did this. So I do appreciate it. Thank you very much.
No worries at all.
But yeah, so the Lion Mind podcast, and it will be going up on the wall now. Finally, it's literally been in here for like forever, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't stick it up into these fish to give it me. But no, appreciate it both of you. So yeah, so in regards to sort of like your journey so far, I think it's been hugely focused around the mindset stuff, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And obviously, it's something that we do a lot together. It's something I believe in a lot. And you know, it's only going to get better, isn't it? Like, you're only going to learn more and more about yourself. It's like at England's recently, you know, again, we learned more about, you know, you under pressure, if you like.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, it's only going to be something that's going to get bigger and better.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at England's as well when
Yeah.
we talk about England. So England's is your biggest competition you've done to date, yeah?
Yeah, first proper, like, let's say, professional show, if you such.
Yeah. And trying to think how to look at this, because it's actually quite hard for me to ask you these questions, because I not know the answers, but I've been through the journey with you. But I'm trying to make sure we're talking to the listeners in the way that it's gonna, you know, take them down the journey as such.
Yeah.
But how did you feel when you first qualified for England's?
Couldn't believe it, really. It was like the next step. That was the step we talk about, you know, how me and you and how we plan stuff. It was, well, we need to qualify for this, and then, but I'd then done it. I'd took that next stepping stone from the novice competitions in car parks and in random gyms, you know what I mean? And I've then taken that step up, and it was so surreal to think, wow, like, it's happened so fast.
And it's England's strongest man.
And it was in, do you know what I mean? It was it's what I thought, like, well, it may take a few years. I was there. And like I said, going into England's at the weekend, obviously you know a lot of my thoughts going in, but for people not listening, for the people that are listening, I had the mindset of, I'm there. That was my achievement. I was just happy to be there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, to compete with Lewis, you know, like Lewis, who we went and trained with, I was like, we had a joke, didn't we? It was like, oh, in a few years' time, and I was like, I'm here, I'm with Lewis, I'm against Paul Smith, I'm against the people I literally, Paul Smith being a world's strongest man this year, I'm against these kind of people.
And not to be a dick as well, because you're trying to be really humble here, you beat them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And the thing is, they're all our friends, so it's not about their shit. That's not what we're saying. Yeah. But you actually beat them as well. Yeah. And I just want to give you that, because I know you're trying to be humble by saying you're with them. You beat them. Yeah. You know, it's an insane, like, yeah. Yeah, and obviously, we just said you've got nothing to lose. You're here. This is an achievement in itself. Enjoy it, and I believe that is the main reason did so well. Is because there was no pressure to do well. There was, in my head, it was like, don't come last. There's a few guys, won't name names, who I did want to beat. Yeah. And they will know.
Yeah. And obviously it did end up doing that, and I just wanted to. Main thing was to make a statement. I wanted to maybe come top 3 on an event, or do you know what I mean, do something well, and on the day ended up outperformed anything that I could have, believed I could have achieved, and it couldn't have gone any better really. I was finished 3 points away from first place, and there's nothing. There was nothing
and you
in
came
it.
third. It was like,
Yeah.
What do you think about when people call you a one-trick pony and you kind of...
Yeah.
you kind of
Well, that was a massive point as well. I think we'd sunk. Yeah.
yeah. So obviously, like a lot of people was like, well, yeah, it's funny because not everyone said you're a one-trick pony, were they?
No.
But that's the feeling.
I didn't want to lead people into that.
Because obviously you're so known for your deadlift,
Yeah.
and you was heading for that, and you, damn, that's a strong deadlift, blah blah
Yeah.
blah. Hold on a minute, he's quite good at strongman.
Yeah, yeah. I think that was another thing I wanted to prove to everyone there. That I've just done this deadlift record, but before that, I was a pretty good, do you know what I mean, all-rounded strongman,
Yeah.
and now proven on the big stage that I do deserve to be there. I can consistently perform on every event, and I even ended up winning the last event by a fair bit.
Yeah,
I think it was 20 seconds that split me in second place.
yeah,
So yeah, it couldn't have got any better.
yeah. It's insane. But I think like obviously on the run up to that competition, something I want to point out, which I think is so powerful and important, is that on the run up to that competition, because you didn't feel that intense pressure, I feel like this is a true thing for most people. That you have this sense of more about like happiness and gratitude for being there, as opposed to pressure of shit, I need to do well. And I feel like that actually helped you perform exceedingly well.
Oh, I agree. I definitely.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I've been in that situation myself before, where I'm under so much pressure, and I do it to myself because we do. You put yourself under so much pressure that actually you do worse for it, because like anything, right? Everyone has a boiling point, but because you was literally running on, we'd peaked your training, you peaked your mind, your food was at its highest, everything's where it needs to be.
Yeah.
Now it's just a matter of just don't peak your head.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
don't tip yourself over the edge.
And I think the whole day I went in with that imposter syndrome kind of.
Yeah.
Why is Glenn announcing Max? Do you know what I mean? Why am I coming out here in front of all these people? It was still didn't feel like quite right in a way. I know I'd earned it. But in the same sense, it was still surreal. And I had that on it. I thought that may go away after the first event, but doing every event we walked out, that announcement, the crowd going, and everything, it was still, why me? Why am I? Do you know what I mean? Why am I here? I understand I've worked hard. I know how hard I've worked. And
Is that why you put the anvils down? Did you
yeah, I just thought I'd give everyone a better chance.
put them down because I don't need to
I
finish?
didn't want to do too well. I didn't want to come in and, you know what I mean, first time win. So I thought I'd put them down.
We've got to laugh.
Yeah.
I still need. I need you to.
I'll have to
edit.
get that clip in.
I need you to edit it, Zach, because literally he runs with the anvils and they fall out his hand and he forgot that he was running with them, and he turned around and looked at them and I could literally see his head like about to explode. He was going, shit, how do I pick these up again? I mean, it was only 3 seconds, but it felt like 13.
Yeah, oh god, I thought they'd gone. I thought someone. I was like, where are they gone?
Hold on a minute, they've vanished.
Yeah. And it's like we'd gone through.
Actually, what happened?
No. He dropped. You know what the anvils are, yeah, like them funny horse. Like so, because obviously when you drop them, they're not just going to stay where they drop, are they? So they've split,
One was
and I think one
upside
turned
down,
upside
and
down.
one
Didn't
had
it?
gone off there, and we'd spent like the last 10 minutes going, right, this is the best way to pick them up. So when
But now
they
they're not in
fell,
that position.
there wasn't the way we'd looked at them. My mind was just like, what is going on?
You went,
I couldn't
what am I having for dinner? Spaghetti.
yeah, couldn't figure out.
Squirrel.
On? Yeah, I could not figure out which orientation they were supposed to be. In the end, it's like, oh, sod it, I'll just pick them up again.
Well, I've got to finish it.
yeah,
So,
Dude, you know the feeling you had for England? You had that same feeling when you did the first time again, didn't you? For 105.
when I did, and that's also why I said it. I was thinking about it when I said it to you. So that feeling, and again, I feel like it's such a powerful place to be in.
yeah.
So you know that old school rule that everyone always says, don't they? Like, if you want to be good at football, play with people that are better than you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, it makes sense because they're better than you. But actually, when you say it, it's a bit like, yeah, but you're never as good as them. So actually, it's really hard. Now, the important part is here. You have a Y junction. Yeah. you're not as good as them, so you can give up and go home.
Yeah.
Or you're not as good as them, so I'm going to fucking work my bollocks off until I am as good as them.
Yeah.
Now, I feel like that, if you take that opportunity in life to decide which way you're going to go out of those two,
Yeah.
it will make you who you actually are.
Make or break
Correct.
direct
you can go the failed way.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you failed
That's
as a person.
the easiest way.
Yeah.
It's the easy option.
It just means that what you set out for you isn't for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's that thing, isn't it? Where using that position, I was in the exact same position in England's when I did 105s in England's, because obviously I'd gone up to 105s, and I was like, fucking hell, then all of a sudden, what was I? Second, third?
You almost won, literally.
Yeah. Can't remember how it is. Yeah, but you know what I mean? I was second, and it was close to first. Well, but it's like, you know, it's like that thing about like, I felt like I shouldn't have been. Well, there was 22 lads or whatever, and I was like, fucking, I ain't getting anywhere near the top of here.
Yeah.
But actually, again, it's that same feeling as you, and I feel like it's an important thing to know, isn't it? Because then you're hungry, and you're actually like, I need to work hard, but I'm not going to lose anything.
Going back to like what we discussed earlier.
Do you miss that feeling? Because after that, you never had that feeling.
Yeah. No, I do. I do miss it, and I think it's probably a big change that I went through. Yeah. Yeah.
But when you spoke about that wide junction, you know, like we spoke about earlier, where we were training for 412, and then it
all of
suddenly
a
shot
sudden.
up to 420, halfway through preparing for 412.
Yeah.
I easily could have turned around to you. Well, I think I did turn around. We had a chat, and we was like,
It was a do you still go for it?
I was like,
question,
genuinely, I was like, I know you, like, you'll always support me. I was like, but please tell me now, do you think it's possible?
No, I remember that you said that exact.
Yeah.
You said it exactly how you just
I
said
was
now
like,
as well. I remember
do
you
you
saying
think
it.
it is possible?
Yeah.
Because if not, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that,
But here's the thing for you then, right? Because we've never actually explored these thoughts and processes, right?
Yeah.
So you're asking me there, is it possible?
yeah.
Yeah. Let's be honest. You wanted a pat on the back, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's however you want to look at it. That you needed that pat on the back. Fuck, you're doing the right thing, mate. Yes, it's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, how would you have felt if I had said no? Obviously, you trust me because do you know what I mean. You only asked me because you trust me. That feeling.
Yeah.
But let's think about what it does to the mind here, because this is why I'm trying to tap into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to play games with you because of what I said, because you've done it anyway. It's done.
Yeah.
But my point is, I'm trying to understand the mind here, because actually, this is how the mind works.
Yeah.
So when someone says to you, "No, you're shit," what does it do to you?
I think it can vary. Depends. First of all, I think it depends where it's coming from. If you, as me being young, very new to sport, I look up to you and trust in everything you've done, because obviously we've proved that it works.
Yeah.
If you told me we're not going to, I'd probably just accept that.
Yeah.
I'd think, oh, well, maybe I could.
Bit gutted and blah, blah. Yeah,
but Dean knows best. I'd be like, well, if he doesn't think I can do it, and he's achieved all this, and we've achieved everything else we've set out to do, but he doesn't think I can quite do this, I would probably just, I wouldn't say I'd easily give up.
No.
I'd question that. I'd question why you think that. But at the same time, I'd be very disheartened and maybe start to believe that myself. It starts to come in, or maybe it is a bit too much of a push.
Yeah.
But I think if random people, you know, you used to go to school with, or people on online and go, oh, you're not going to do that, I think that's the opposite way. Like, I'm going to do it now because you've said that.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get to. And
very much depends on who's like telling you you're not going to do it.
Yeah.
Like if you or Ruth or Mum or Dad said, oh, I don't think you can do that, I'd probably listen to you a lot more.
Yeah.
Where people on the internet would be like, I'm going to do it now then, because you've said I'm not going to.
But that's using that, isn't it, to your advantage again, because, you know, like, and that's again that Y junction, isn't it? Like, you can either go, shit, these people are right, and you can be labelled as what they say, or you can actually go, no, I'm going to use that as my fire, and I'm going to prove you wrong because I know I can. Yeah,
but we've definitely, like, when we're discussing it with you, there is a point where I could tell you a weight and it won't be possible. So where is that line?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I could come to you, Dean, tomorrow, I want to pull 1,000 pounds, and you will go, you can't.
Yeah.
I would, but do you know what I mean? That is facts. That is facts on the table. Whereas you said, oh, Dean, in
right
6 months' time, 6 months' time, I want to pull 1,000 pounds, you'd probably say,
right, cool, let's plan it.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
So I definitely think it depends on the situation.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, obviously, not to go too deep into that, but imagine if that lad had pulled 430.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then that's probably the break point where we're
should, I said,
where you're at right now.
Yeah. I was at 400. That means I had to add 21.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that was
Scary
we were
at the
there.
point, yeah.
We were there. That was. Do you know what I mean? If we had to pull an extra kilo.
Yeah, you just never know. Yeah,
Yeah, so-
It just shows, doesn't it, how powerful it is about other people's perspective onto your life.
Yeah.
But you know, looking at that, let's spin this into a few things about you and your life. So, and let's run off the thought of that. Have you ever had any points in your life where you have been second guessed, questioned, or anything that's made you doubt yourself? Do you know what I mean? Let's take this back to childhood as well.
Yeah.
So like, you know, growing up and
Yeah.
people around you.
I'd definitely say when I was at school, I was always interested in gym. Always was. This is from secondary school. They used to do a Tuesday night, open the gym up. You used to be able to use the gym.
Nice.
And I thought, you see all these transformation videos of famous videos that go around online. And I thought, I set up an Instagram page. And it was like, it was a proper cheesy name. But at the time, it felt cool.
How old were you?
I'd say 13, 14. About
Yeah.
14 years old. Proper cheesy. And I've been going to, do you know what I mean? I had absolutely no muscle, but I had a little bicep and thought I was absolutely massive. And I remember I posted a picture in the mirror, topless, like tensing or something like
Yeah.
this. And some lads in the air above found it obviously brilliant, which I can see now looking back, but absolutely ripped me to hell over it. Like, it got shared on Instagram. Some lad had done the same, took his top off
And copied, yeah.
And that really, I know we're laughing now. At the time, I didn't want to go to school the next day.
Really?
That really,
Yeah, but you're a kid. You've got a young mind.
That really, that damaged. Like, I deleted the account, deleted everything. Didn't want to go to the gym, because of one person taking a mick. And now, like, I see it's the same lads I see out, and they'll message me and say, "Oh, I'm trying to do this. Oh, how do I gain muscle?"
Just
I'm
laugh
like,
at 'em.
Yeah, I'm just like, well, yeah. Obviously, I've grown
You're
up now,
laughing
and I
now.
understand it was a long time ago. But
Yeah.
for situations like that, it definitely knock you back. It knocked me
Yeah.
back. It's something so simple that someone did.
And as well, depending on the person, obviously it's trauma, however you want to look at it, that's trauma.
Yeah.
And depending on the person, it could knock you back.
Yeah.
It's like people say PTSD, leaving the army and stuff, like,
Yeah.
that's the probably the more extreme side of it. You can get PTSD from that.
No, of course.
You know, post-traumatic stress disorder, all it is saying that you
Yeah.
were traumatized by an incident.
Yeah.
And actually, you know, that's the sort of stuff sometimes that could turn you off the gym and never go back to the gym.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? And
Yeah.
I think it's important for people to understand that, isn't it? Because a lot of people question themselves and think, have they done right or wrong, and this, that, and the other, and also doubt themselves because of other people's thoughts about them.
Yeah.
When actually it's like...
That's something I've definitely had to work on, is understanding that to try just... you shouldn't care what people think.
Yeah.
Someone's always going to have something to say about you, no matter what.
Yeah.
You might be the nicest person, you know what I mean, ever. Someone's always going to have something to say. And you can't let that affect your goals or what you want to achieve at all. Because no one will do anything then.
No.
Think of like the stuff people... If you actually acted on everything that someone says about you
Yeah.
in the comments, like...
Yeah.
I've had loads of hate and, oh yeah, using fake weights and, oh, you're not doing this, or I
Yeah.
would be able to do that if I did this. And
Yeah.
I mean, just got to let it...
You know, one of the ones that gets me, I mean, I say it gets me, as in makes me laugh, not winds me up. Oh, you own a gym, so it's easy. Do you know,
Yeah.
just say that out to yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? That's a little bit like saying to a builder, well, your house should be,
Yeah,
perfect.
you should have the
and-
best house.
Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, mate, it's actually the opposite most of the time. You meet a builder, they're always like, I've not got time to do my own house, and
Yeah.
it's the last thing I want to do when I get home from doing that.
So how
Do you
much?
know-
Yeah, so
yeah.
like, how much is your rent for this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or is it £7 for a pure gym membership now?
Yeah,
It's
good,
like,
yeah.
oh, yeah. It's 10 times easier to not
Yeah,
have a
exactly.
gym.
And the stress that comes with it. Look at my hair. What hair?
Yeah.
But no, and yeah, I think it's like with that sort of way of looking at life, you always have to be hungry, don't you? Because if you're hungry for what you want, it helps you block out, what other people are saying,
Yeah.
and the thoughts that other people have,
Yeah.
and actually just remind yourself of why you're doing what you're doing and what it means to you, because that's how you're gonna keep that fire burning away. Mm-hmm. And people, the thing is, people train for different reasons, don't they? Like, some people train, let's be honest, because they got bullied.
Yeah.
Some people train because they want to be stronger than someone.
Yeah.
and I'm not saying it's right or wrong. Any of these are legit to yourselves. Some people train because, I don't know, their dad was ill and, you know, they've seen him die. And do you know what I'm trying to say? So they want to stay healthy or whatever it is. There's a million and one reasons why. Yeah. But the thing is, you need to make sure that you do what you do. And I'm not just talking about training, actually, but you do what you do because of you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You keep that spark.
Yeah. I definitely think my beginning of the gym life was for the wrong reasons at the time. I come out of a long-term relationship, and I knew 100% it was nothing to do with, like, I mean, I was fat. I let myself get real big. I was probably as heavy as I am now, but didn't go to the gym at all. And when that ended, I blamed that on the way I looked. Nothing, you know what I mean? Nothing else to do with the relationship. Yeah. That's why I obsessed going to the gym to lose weight. Yeah. And I think I dropped about 6 or 7 stone.
Didn't you get really unhealthy as well? I think,
I remember for the first few weeks. Do you know what I mean? I got daft. I did definitely say this is not okay. But I remember sat in the car once having a KFC. Cause I was still a big lad. I still ate a lot, and probably ate to cope with it a bit. And I remember going home and making myself sick because I just wanted to lose weight because I blamed it so much. And I just want to reiterate, there was absolutely no reason. No one had ever said anything. Do you know what I mean? The person I was with that was never a thing.
So where do you think that came from? Because it has to
I know, I just don't. It's hard to pin a point on that. And, like, I still think there's still a tiny thing that makes me never want to slip back to that way I looked. Like I've said to you before, I said, obviously I understand I need to put on weight to improve and get stronger, but I still quite enjoy the aesthetics of still staying aesthetically not pleasing, but
do you know what I mean? It's the right word.
I don't want to be a huge...
At the end of the day, and you know, I'm not saying this to make everyone else feel different for themselves, but let's be honest, nobody wants to take the top off and feel shit.
No, and I did. I think a
lot of people pussyfoot around that because they're like, well, I want to feel how I want to feel. Yeah. I'm sorry, but nobody wants to take the top off and go, I feel shit.
Yeah, no, definitely not. And I think that was the main thing. And I started going, but then because I was always a bigger lad at school. I was always playing rugby.
So were you picked on for being big or anything, or was that not just really, your own way of looking at it?
I think that's just, I don't know where it stemmed from. I really don't. Maybe some, do you know what I mean, things I can't quite remember or happened. I've chose not to remember. But like I said, when I did lose the weight, got in pretty good shape because I had naturally quite a big stature and held the weight well once I'd lost it. And then once I started seeing them results, that's when I went down the bodybuilding aesthetic side of things. Realised, all right, do you know what I mean? I benched 180 at like 18, 17 years old, so we were like, maybe we should start training towards a strongman. And then from a very first competition, novice comp at Adam Cave's gym in Scunthorpe, I've never not podiumed ever. I've always come first, second, or third. Not that I'm not gloating or bloating. I'm just.
You just kept hold of that. As well.
Just stating a fact. Do you know what I mean? I never come fourth or fifth, and the thing I think a lot of, especially like close people to me, like Ruth and my mum, were worried about at the time, is I've done so well when I don't come first, second, or third. How will it hit me?
Yeah.
And I remember the biggest one was obviously under 23s, not coming first there.
Yeah.
I was maybe going into that too confident, and that had a negative effect.
Yeah. Which is exactly the opposite to what we were talking about.
Which is exactly the opposite to England's. Yeah. So, yeah, I think it definitely links.
That is something to understand and realise, isn't it, though?
Yeah.
Because having that always have that hunger mentality.
You can't settle. You can never settle. You can never settle for what you've done, ever.
Yeah. And never feel like it's owed to you or you're already there.
Yeah, obviously winning England's Strongest Man would have been amazing, but I'm so glad I didn't. Do you understand?
Yeah, I'm with you, yeah.
Not that I'm saying I could have done or I should have done or anything like that. I don't mean it in that sense.
You were 2 points away, so you definitely could have. But I'm with you.
I'm so hungry now to try win next year. Yeah. And then the fact that I've qualified for UK that's a totally different. That's a reset. That's I don't have to do too well there. Like, I can just think of the way I thought of England's, because that's another step up again. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And hopefully they'll get the benefits of that mindset.
But as well, that's a very mature mindset.
Yeah.
You know, because not just to pick on the youth nowadays, but, you know, we have it easy. We have it easy. People these days have it easier. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's at your fingertips, all that sort of malarkey of like, you know, and unfortunately, the way that society is, a lot of people think things are given to them, and it's not.
Yeah.
So that's that mentality. What you're saying there about you don't want it to be easy,
No.
because you don't.
No.
And I'm you know, pleased and proud of you that you feel that way, because it really is the best way to think and feel. Because if you were to be like thinking, oh, it is easy, then yeah, what would happen next? Like,
Because like I say, there was maybe some people at the weekend who
probably thought that.
Who probably thought that they might have had an easier ride at the weekend.
Yeah.
And it didn't turn out to, do you know what I mean, how they thought. And that was just maybe a mentality thing.
Yeah.
About exactly the situation of what we just discussed. Becoming too comfortable. You can never be comfortable. There's always going to be someone coming. You know what I mean? I was that person this year. There's always someone coming up. There's always going to be someone to challenge the person at the top. You can never rest. You must.
I think as well, with that being said, there's only you that can control that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, ultimately, I mean, there's people around you that can support that, but there's only you that can actually have the, how am I trying to put this? Have the understanding and knowledge to keep yourself humble.
Grounded.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And grounded, great word for it,
Yeah.
To actually keep yourself grounded. Because the bottom line is, if you turn into a dick, it's like if you won the lottery. If you all of a sudden just turn into this guy who is just the complete opposite, and just as I said, dick, because we all know what we mean by that. You then you're the person to blame. You're the person that's ruined it. You could have stayed on the other side. And I think that's the thing, isn't it? Like, it's understanding at that moment you're the person that can actually change for the better. And continue to enjoy that path, or you can ruin it as such.
Yeah, definitely.
Growing up, then, do you feel you had quite an easy life? As a question.
I could say I've had a very comfortable upbringing. I'd say, always been able to have opportunities. I've always been able to do whatever sports I'd want to get into. My mum and dad, would always be so supportive of that. Always buy me the kit I needed, and always gone on nice holidays and stuff like that. And I've had a very lucky, very fortunate upbringing, I'd say. I've always been any path for anything. I mean, I've done it all, everything. Not been so good at some stuff, but anything I've ever wanted to try, mum and dad have always supported it. So yeah, very appreciative of that.
Yeah, because obviously when I say that as well, it's such a hard one. It's like, what's an easy life, what's hard life? You know.
Yeah, of course.
But as well, it's always I always like to know, you know, within reason, obviously, if people have ever had any trauma. Because that's one of those things that stimulates who we are. Yeah. Do you know, and I'm a big believer in that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's always good to know, and I mean this in, you know, the most respect to you, because it's always good to know in successful people what makes you successful. Yeah. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because at the end of the day, everyone has a drive. Everyone has a reason behind why they do what they do. Yeah. But at the same time, this is why I want to explore, you know, people's minds on these podcasts, because I've studied a lot about the mind, but there's also so much more to know that we just don't know as people, that actually I feel like sometimes we fall across little scenarios that just are because they are. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Yeah, and I definitely think I'd fall into that category of, there's nothing, obviously I've had family members pass away, but not like direct family members, and the things that normal people go through, but I'd never say there's been a individual there's never been a life-changing moment. And obviously respect everyone that's been through that, and I can say that I've never been through that. So I definitely think a lot of where my, let's say, motivation to do well, I guess, comes from is just, I've always just looked up to, you know, when you look up to people and when people talk about them, and you know, to be, I think especially, I know we always don't want to link back to strongman route, but I think it's so masculine and so powerful, and being about being strong and unlike the body's limits, and testing them to like the very max, and being known for being, do you know what I mean, world's strongest man. Imagine that title. It's just an amazing thing. And I think
I want kids. I want my children to be proud. I want my wife to be proud. I want people to remember me for that. I just think that'd be a cool thing, cool legacy to leave behind.
No, I agree. Just really quickly on that though, World Strongest Man, or would you prefer the title Strongest on Earth?
Well, there's bench
I mean,
press.
for
There's bench press.
For
I'm
people
more
who know
likely to
what we're
win that
talking
one.
about, you know.
I'm more likely to win the Frank Shaw one. There's a bit of bench press in there. Yeah.
But no, you know, I know what you're saying, and that's that thing, isn't it? Your drive is just to be. When I say just, I don't mean that lightly, but just to be better, just to be bigger, stronger, more powerful, and have that you know, live that life of pursuit that you're trying to pursue now.
Yeah.
To become pushing the limits and to become the strongest you can.
Yeah, and I think I don't want to come across sound vain or cocky or any way, but you'll get it, and I'm sure the bigger that, you know, like that sense of being the biggest in the room. Do you know what I mean? That sense of looking around and knowing that you are a stronger. Do you know what I mean? Not in
and you don't mean biggest in size either.
No, I don't mean as in like looking down on people. Oh, I don't mean that, or a comparison thing where I'm better than you because I'm bigger. It's that, I don't know, that feeling you get, that empowerment of knowing what my body can do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If I need to lift that, if I need to do this, it's quite a primal instinct thing. I think it goes back to years back. But yeah, I very much admire that feeling of you know, when people look at you and go, do you know, respect the fact that I've earned this.
Yeah, and you're capable of X.
Yes, and they, do you know what I mean? And
the thing is, like, don't ever feel like you need to explain that too much, because actually what you're saying there is just how you feel. Like, it doesn't, do you know what I mean? No one ever thinks that, you know, you're better, or it's not about that.
No.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because what I know, obviously, what you're saying there, you're struggling to say it because you're thinking, oh no, I don't mean it as in. But ultimately, mate, there's always a thing that that people want to be.
Yeah.
And that's your opinion, your choice, and your pursuit. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, you know, I've dug into it before with my therapist about, you know, why I do what I do. Like, there's trigger points and reasons behind it. Of course there is. But ultimately, it's not about standing next to someone going, I'm stronger than you.
No. It's
actually knowing, and this is what I think for me, I'm not trying to put words into your mouth, but for me, it's knowing that I have put myself through something that most people can't do.
Yeah.
Because they would have stopped.
Yeah. No,
do you know what I'm saying?
I can relate. I can agree with you on that.
It's not about the outcome. It's about the journey it's took that you've gone through to get there. And you know what? Actually, I'm happy to say it out loud, but that's through being in pain years ago. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when you've been through pain and when you've been through periods of your life that are now, you know, without going too deep into it, I will admit that I didn't want to be here once upon a time. Yeah. Do you know what I'm trying to say? When you've been through a stage of actually thinking, I will give up and what's the point in living? Yeah. Then I think it gives you that strength and empowerment to actually go, I'm going to push through that. And then when you've been through it and you've took yourself back up, you know, back upwards in life, you then look back and go, I've been able to get myself from there to there. Yeah,
and I think I can, in a way, obviously I can't relate to them personal feelings you've had, but when you reach that achievement, when you've worked so hard, I'm trying to put it into words, knowing that what you've done, not, you know what I mean, like let's say I know we don't want to try and link it back, but with a deadlift record, I am that 1%. Do you know what I mean? I am now the best in the world, and I can say that category, and only the closest people, and only myself, only I've done that. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And I think that is another motivation as well, to know that only I could have achieved that because of my mentality. Yeah,
I agree. And it feeds you to do more, doesn't it? Yeah. Like it will only get bigger and only get better.
Yeah.
So when you look at, obviously, like, you know, obviously what you've done already and everything, you're now working with Cerberus.
Yeah, just recently picked up a full athlete sponsor from Cerberus now.
Yeah. How does it feel for things like that? Because obviously
it's mental how fast things are moving.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I've only got myself to credit for that, for the work ethic, in a way. So yeah, it feels pretty special to be recognised. You know, even just the simplest things like speaking to Lawrence Charolais on Instagram the other day, or Luke Stockman dropped me a follow, and you know, Eddie Hall and people like that. It's nothing out of their day, but to get that now, to start getting that recognition, to be almost involved in that circle, it's real now. It's getting real. I'm getting there. That next stepping stone, not that far away. And yeah, it's everything I've dreamed of for the last 3 years it's coming into play, and that end goal is only getting closer through these points we're hitting. Yeah.
Just to explore that as well. What is that? What you're talking about? That end goal. What is that? What is that feeling? What is that position? What does it look like? Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I think definitely to stand and win World's Strongest Man at least once in my life. That would be the end. Not the end, because I'd always carry on. That would be obviously a drive to try and win again, let's say. But to that point, that would be the point where that everything I've worked for, all the time, all the commitment, everything has paid off. It's worked. We've done it. We've done it right. I can, do you know what I mean? I can not settle, but I can relax a bit.
Tick it off.
I can yeah. I have done that. I have worked hard. I've set a goal and I've achieved that. I don't see it as such especially the success that we've had. It's no dissimilar from that. Yeah. We've set a goal. We've set a plan.
It's just the stage of the point in your life
definitely
that you're at, isn't it? Yeah.
I've got age on my side.
Yeah.
Health on my side. It will come. I know it will come, but you got to be patient. It will come though.
Yeah. So what is actually next for you now then? Like, what's obviously you've qualified for UK's Strongest Man, which will be 2024 now.
Yeah.
That'll be on a wicked stage, and if anyone wants
can't wait for that.
Anyone wants to see Ultimate Strongman. Where was it last year? Nottingham. Yeah. I feel like it might be the same place, but yeah. What else is next for you?
I definitely want to break into the Giants Live and the official strongman side of things. No disregard to Ultimate Strongman, but the pathway to World's Strongest Man is more likely going to be through that route. So I definitely want to break onto that scene. I would love to obviously keep the overall strongman game improving, but at the same time I'd love to go to World Deadlift Championships and pull something huge there in the next few years, definitely, or it be next year or the year after. Would love to pull £1,000 next year, whether it be there or not. But I definitely feel like I can make a good statement there.
Yeah.
With where I'm at now, I can only get better. So.
And obviously we're going to Cardiff Deadlift Championships this weekend. So
can't wait for that.
It can only give you a bigger spark.
Yeah, definitely.
Obviously, you got Searby on your books at the minute. Who else? Like, what else is in the horizon on that sort of side of things as well?
So obviously,
without disclosing stuff you can't yet.
Yeah. So with the deadlift, obviously Rich from Strom, we kind of had a little bit of a jokey deal. It was like, if you come back and do it, I'll offer you a sponsorship.
Yeah.
And I did. And he's now partnered up with Eddie Hall on their new project Beast Farm, which is Rich's minds and science and everything, and partly Eddie working there as well to create a new kind of supplement brand under Eddie's name. And hopefully be working with them in the near future. I think things are just starting off. I think getting first few samples and bits and bobs in the post next week, but things are on the right track. Be pretty cool to work with them.
Yeah. And that's, I guess, like another statement, isn't it, for you to know you're doing the right things and you put yourself in the right line.
To be recognised by the world's best deadlifter for a deadlift.
Is Thor not? Sorry, a bit confusing.
Yeah.
Eddie is the original.
Yeah, to be recognised by him for that.
Yeah.
It can't, you know what I mean? I'm proud of that myself.
Yeah, no, I agree. So then, in regards to sort of like shows and stuff, there's nothing this year now, specifically anyway.
No, nothing for this year. It'll just be a long off season, if you will, building on weaknesses, building on strengths as well at the same time, and bringing best package to UK's next year possible.
Yeah, and I guess for now as well, you know, me throwing my 2 pence in, we've got to prepare you in the things we have not prepared you in yet.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because, for example, like just, you know, and I think I actually want to mention this, I said it earlier on, one of my proudest moments of you at England's, other than obviously standing on the, you know, podium, you know, next to those guys, was when you did the yoke.
Yeah.
Just so that people sort of understand, it was meant to be a, remind me if I'm, or correct me if I'm wrong, 5 metre run, 10 metre yoke, 5 metre run.
Yeah, I think it was that originally. Yeah.
So that's what we prepped for. You were looking obviously hot on that anyway. And then obviously on the day they changed it to a 20 metre and then a 20 metre back.
Yeah.
Which...
on grass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is horrendous.
Yeah.
And to be one of only 4 people to complete that, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
3,
4
4,
or 5.
yeah, 5.
Yeah.
So you know, like that was insane to do, but that was probably one of my most, like, say, proud moments of that day, just because I know you was dying inside.
Yeah, it was. I won't try cover it up and be the, you know what I mean, like, oh yeah, it wasn't that bad. It was bad. It was bad. It was bad.
And was it like your third event, second event?
The second event in, just before the deadlift. And like I said to Dean, I walked out to that deadlift platform and I still could not feel my legs. I just didn't know what I was going to do. I strapped up for that deadlift thinking, am I even going to get one? And
you were one of the later people out as well.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
God knows what the first one felt like.
Yeah, but that was, I mean, we had the paramedics came fussing over.
Yeah.
And like, oh no, are you all right? And I'm like, yeah, just give me a minute.
Yeah,
I was like, just let me breathe. Yeah. I was like, she's, oh, well, I've never seen someone. So I was like, yeah, because you've never seen someone walk 40 metres with 400 kg on the back. I was like, yeah, I know I look rough now. So give me 10 minutes. Yeah. I'll be all right. I was, yeah.
What, you know, obviously, I don't know if it helps us to say these sorts of things, like, but for people who probably don't know what this feels like, or, you know, and I want it to come out of your mouth rather than mine, what is going through your head at that moment? Because let's be honest, you did the first 20, I'm not going to say easy.
No, steady.
You did a very good run, and you didn't put it down. On the way back, you're clearly thinking, I'm going to do the same again.
Yeah. And then the first 5 metres, I was like, maybe not. Yeah.
But what's going through your head?
I was just saying this to Ruth the other day. Unfortunately, Ruth couldn't be there to come watch. And I had my eyes, all I was just doing is just imagine. I know it sounds so sad and cheesy, but I was imagining her, like the proud happiness of her, because she's so supportive.
As you're doing the actual...
As I was doing it, in that last 10 metres as well, all I was thinking about is like, I was kind of creating them scenarios that we talked about earlier. I was like, I know it sounds so drastic, but if you don't do this, River's going to die. You know what I mean? I was trying to think things like that to make me do it. Because my body did not want to carry on.
And do you think that's conscious or sort of like, because it's such a short space of time to be actually telling yourself that. But are you actually purposely trying to do that to
yourself? I was purposely trying to get into that fight or flight that we spoke about earlier.
So you're forcing yourself.
Yeah, because I didn't have that opportunity to maybe, you know, when you go for a 1 rep max, you have that time to prepare. In the moment, I was like, right, what can I do to activate? Do you know what I mean? To help me push past that pain barrier. Because you can see it in my face, and I can get it up all, but. Yeah, that was me spent. I was spent, and there was still 5 metres left to go.
Yeah,
but
that's that thing, though, isn't it? You say you were spent, you weren't, because you got it to the end.
No. Yeah.
However, you are physically, aren't you?
Yeah, that's the difference.
And that last bit is just that mental, like,
yeah,
I can do it.
Yeah, it's like so much. That's what I mean. I say it to so many people. I say it to guys at work and stuff who, you know, say, "Oh, I don't have." You have no idea what your body's capable of until you're pushed to that limit.
Yeah,
you have no idea.
Yeah,
it's until you're in that situation. It frustrates me in a way.
Yeah,
because some people will never ever realise what their body can do.
Yeah,
and it can do impressive things, really impressive things.
And obviously, spinning that round to, you know, let's just say Joe Public.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many people, isn't there, that are on this earth that really are not getting the most out of themselves. And we're not talking about body physique.
No.
You know, I'm just talking about everything.
Just in general.
And you could take that scenario of what you just said there, can't you, and put it, like, okay, I'm unhappy in my job.
Yeah.
I'm getting bullied. whatever, right? And it's like, but that is who I am and that's what I do.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. No.
And you could use that exact principle,
Of
can't you,
course
of
you
what
can.
you're saying there? 'Cause it's like, take yourself to your limit.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're not happy, change it. It's like I said to you. I think I said to you before. I remember when you did your lat, and I could tell you were in a bit of a deep, in a bit of a dip, rut, especially before Europe. And I was like, it's okay to be down, but it's not okay to stay down.
No,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
That's the mentality you've got to have. Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, I feel. Do you know what I mean? But you can't let that sink into your.
Yeah.
You can't settle. I keep going back to that. You never settle for anything.
No.
You've always got to push for the best.
I think as well there, because the thing I always, and I'll say get scared of, because it is a fear. It is a fear factor. I always fear that if you do it for too long, you become it.
Yeah.
And then it becomes your identity. It's like, and I say this, I've said this 100 times, right? It's like when someone's fat, yeah? Let's just call them fat because they call themselves fat, yeah?
Yeah.
When somebody's fat,
Yeah.
they then become fat. They then live fat.
Yeah.
They then are fat.
Yeah.
They're nothing but fat.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
No, yeah, I agree.
I'm not saying that it happens on purpose, but you have done that to yourself.
Oh, of course, yeah. It's
Because
not like,
you've lived it.
Yeah, you've literally,
And you've accepted it.
That's it, and that's it. You've accepted that. That's it now. Can't change it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And unfortunately, so many people that is like they make out the calories snuck up on them in the night and climbed in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Only they ate them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They've done it to themselves, and you got to take control of your own self.
Yeah. I like to mention those sorts of things because I think there's a lot of snowflake mentality nowadays, isn't there? Where you can't say things, you can't say this, you can't say that.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is, when you own up to what you've done, who you are, what you're doing, etc., you're able to then understand it in a different light and actually understand that there's a way out, as opposed to you're in a rut and you stay in the rut.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because we all know somebody and we all try and help somebody, and I've tried to help many people and I'm still trying to help people. Do you know what I mean? Because I just like that feeling of being able to go, actually, have you seen it this way around?
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it and it comes down to nitty gritty, it's the individual that has to see that to actually make it happen.
Yeah.
You know, we can all say things to people, but unless they feel it themselves, it's never going to change, is it?
No, not at all. It's like that whole thing, when I said me and Ruth joke about it all the time, but if you were feeling anxious, and I'd be like, oh, well, don't be.
Yeah, of course. Oh, cheers for that.
Oh, cheers, yeah.
I've just flicked the
Yeah, I'm
switch.
fine now. We always joke about that. It's, oh, yeah, cheers for that. I'm fine now. Yeah, no,
cool.
no, don't worry.
Oh, I feel really fat today.
Yeah.
Don't. Okay, cool.
Oh, yeah, there,
No worries.
that's fine. Yeah. But it's that, isn't it?
It is. And you will never know what that feels like unless you're that person.
Exactly.
And you have to protect yourself from that. So, we've hit some massive nuggets today. I hope everyone's enjoyed it. It's been a pleasure. I'll be honest, it's been a bit of a different one for me today. I don't know if you feel that vibe, but it's because we're so close.
I think it's strange because I speak to you every other day.
Yeah.
We're so close anyway. It's
hopefully the listeners, I'm sure, we've had some amazing feedback as well. Literally, again, at your show the other day, about 4 people came up to me and said, we're listening to the podcast. I love to hear it. So, but no, I really appreciate you being on, my man. And where will people be able to follow you? Where's your best place?
I pretty much document all training over on Instagram, and it's just Max Searby on there, Searby. And drop us a follow and keep up with the journey, and hopefully keep on getting some podiums.
Yeah. You'll keep proving the young youth of today is stronger.
There's still hope. Yeah, there's still hope. Yeah.
But no, appreciate it, my man.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
Cheers, Zach.